Hello again, luckyDminor, still trying to reach 2000 ranking points. I'm pretty close now. I reached it for a second in the meanwhile, but lost it again very easily. So now another approach. And as you can see, we have strong opponents, 2300, 2200 side players. And the opposite player is only 1800, so it may be a difficult game. So let's start. So I'm opening with the king's pawn. Blue's blocking it off with me. Fianchetto preparation and another rook's pawn. I watched the players. So Abiu, I played him before some longer time ago. He plays both free fall and teams. And Dabs, he mainly plays free fall. So maybe they are not like the strongest team players and will not start too aggressively here. So I try to push a pawn and maybe win a queen before they even started to play aggressively. Yellow's doing the fianchetto. Green is bringing the knight out. I move on. Blue's playing the knight, all development moves. And I'm running for a queen. Okay, still developing, still developing, still developing, still running for a queen. Blue continues to develop his items. Yellow does, and green does. I have to watch that pawn here to bishops lurking. But I can get my queen, so I had a good start. Nobody bothered me. Blue's making a king's move. I'm not so sure about that. He's putting the king in a place where I can check it. Okay. Yellow's opening a bishop's diagonal. Fianchetto by green. And I can move back. I'm doubling up the diagonal and now threaten to attack there with both forces. Okay, blue's protecting that pawn. And now yellow is also starting to run. Okay, green is weakening his king a little. And I try to block that blue pawn from moving on. Okay, king goes into the corner. Pretty safe so far. Yellow's running for a queen. And green is offering a trade here. So yellow is not in the position to join an attack. So I possibly do not want to trade immediately, but I attack the queen now 2 times. And I have weakened that pawn, but I figure since green is now under attack, he cannot take immediately. Interesting. Blue is weakening his king position again. Now I can check him there. If yellow, for example, would kind of do a check from there. Okay, yellow's moving on. Green is blocking the diagonal. And I'm blocking the green's bishop diagonal. Okay, so far the game went pretty well for red and yellow here. I got a queen, yellow's about to get a queen. And even though blue and green are the higher ranking players on the board, they did not do much. And from my point of view, also have not the best king position both. So let's see how we continue. Okay, blue now also starts pushing. Yellow does not go for the immediate queen. He develops his bishop. Okay, could possibly deliver a check there. But I have nothing to, well, if I gave a check now, king could take. So no immediate threat there. But of course, if I would attack the knight, he could give a check and green would lose a queen. Okay. Did not change much. I was too scared at this point. I didn't want to play it too risky. Also with yellow being 1800 player, I'm not sure that he's really teaming with me here. Okay, blue is threatening my king. I should possibly move in the next move. Now yellow's getting his queen. And green is protecting his king. Okay, I move my king for protection too. Also, I'm supporting that pawn. And I'm not so scared about that diagonal since there are two pawns well protected. Okay, now blue starts pushing. Why is he doing that? The pawn is not so much supported. And there are two queens. And here are two queens. Okay. Yellow is moving his bishop back. Why is he doing that? Well, maybe he was only trying to get my attack here. And since I didn't do it, he moved back. Sorry, yellow. Okay, green's king moves further for safety. And I protect my pawn again and bring my rook in a position where it is protected and not on the bishop's diagonal. Okay, blue pushes his pawns, but again weakening his king position and offering a trade with yellow. Yellow doesn't trade, but attacks that unprotected pawn, also attacks that pawn, possibility to give a check. So if yellow would give a check there, I could double that check. King would have to move. And yellow could mate. So there's a mate. Okay, does he see that? In the next move, maybe. So I just play kind of a waiting move here. Of course, I want to have that pawn protected without the need of the queens. I wanted to keep this diagonal open and not change anything more important in this position. So blue is trading the bishops. We could still go for mate here, but I'm not sure yellow would do it. No. He's accepting the trade, but still there's the option for the mate available. Green is making a slow move, not helping blue. I'm just making a waiting move, still keeping the threat on. And blue is not protecting it. Does yellow see it now? No, he doesn't. But he attacks the knight now. I cannot play the move without his action first. Okay. Okay, green is attacking my king side. I do not want to open up this diagonal for the bishop. So I just wait, and if green takes, I just move and block. Okay. So I develop my other rook. And blue runs away with the knight. Possibly at some point threatening my pawn here. Okay, what's yellow doing? Still there's the possibility for the mate. He doesn't see it. Maybe also he doesn't want it. Because if we had played it, if he had checked, I had doubled the check, king would move away, yellow would mate, I could take the yellow queen. Maybe he doesn't want it. Okay, green takes, I block. And I find this a very, very nice position for myself. When my king is behind an opponent's pawn and the opponent's pawn cannot move, then I feel very safe. So sometimes a king's position with a foreign pawn is stronger than without. The only thing I have to watch out that this field is always kind of protected, that there are no queens coming and checking me from there. Okay, blue develops his pawn structure. Yellow does not know what to do, it seems. Just moves the pawn, the rook. And now green is pushing also. So now we have to be aware that possibly some of the blue and green pawns try to promote, and possibly blue and green will support each other with that, since yellow and red already have second queens. Okay, I move my king just for additional safety. And not knowing what better I could do in this moment. So, of course, I could move that queen, but then blue could just defend that pawn another time with that queen possibly. And even if he doesn't and yellow would check, blue would run away, and I could then still take the yellow queen, so yellow would not do that. Okay. Now that this pawn is there, the check possibility is gone. Okay. And then the mate possibility is gone. So yellow queen moves back. And is being attacked by green. So this is now becoming difficult. We had a chance to mate blue. We didn't do it. And now yellow is under attack. And while yellow is under attack, blue could start an attack on yellow. I do not want to sacrifice my items for that. But I could at least from here protect that queen. Then if yellow for some reason decides not to move it away, that I can at least take that green pawn. And so I move over there and attack or protect that queen, however you want to see it. And also I open up a possible threat again to attack green here. Okay, blue does decide not to take his knight, but to attack the bishop with his bishop. So now what should green do? Yellow do? Move away, possibly block that green pawn, and sacrifice the bishop. But would be very dangerous for his king. Well, not too much in the moment. I think I would have done that. But he's trading the bishops and losing his queen. I think that's not the best option for him. I mean, kind of good for me. Blue loses, yellow loses, green loses his pawn. Green takes, I take. So it's kind of good for my position. I'm now the material leader here. And the blue king is not really safe there. Possibly yellow could move the king and then give a check from there. Develops his queen, attacks my knight. I do not know if he really wants to take it. Green building a threat on that pawn, but no support from blue for that so far. I move away with my knight and also threaten to attack the queen. And blue is taking. Again, opening up his king's position. Yellow is retaking, now threatening to take here with the rook. So all looks good still for red and yellow here. Okay, threatening to check. But checks from the right side are not as dangerous. Of course, blue could attack me here, and then in the next move, green could put the check and sacrifice his knight, and I would lose my rook. But that seems still okay for me. So I play the attack on the queen, and here possibly yellow could take that pawn and threaten to take that bishop. Let's see. Okay, blue's moving back with his king. Okay, yellow is not immediately attacking, but now threatening a check on green. Okay, green moves away, but I can attack it again. It's unprotected, and I just move my queen. And now when yellow gives a check, I can take that queen. Okay, blue's coming over, maybe protecting his king, but also threatening checks there. So if in the next move green would take here and blue would check there, king would have to run. Green could take again, blue could take again, double check, king would have to run. So I think that would be a mate for yellow. to yellow. But anyway, yellow checks. Green decides not to sack his bishop and just move the king, and I can take the green queen, and therefore the attack is not possible anymore, because I would of course not support that attack on yellow. But still blue attacks now the rook, threatens a check. But of course the rook can move and attack the blue queen. Now blue is under heavy attack. Okay, green still tries to play a tactic together with blue here. Oh yes, sacrifices his bishop. Blue can now take the rook and check. And the king would have to move in the open. Okay, what can I do here? I can take here, threaten to take there, possibly threaten to take there and give a check from there. Okay, that seems to be the best action here. So if blue wants to take, he also loses his rook here and gets in a check. And then is also threatened to lose his queen because he's in check. Okay, he does it anyway, checks yellow. Yellow moves. And green does not take. Yeah, if green would have taken, it wouldn't have helped blue. Okay, I check. He moves, and blue loses his queen. So far, I'm astonished how well yellow and red are doing against the strong rated players. Nice game. Okay, I lose my knight. Haven't watched it, but well, it's even protected. But since my queen now is also under attack, of course I cannot take the bishop. I have to move my queen. I just take the knight. Threaten to take that pawn too. He protects that pawn. Oh, nice. And the knight has an attack on the green rook. He doesn't trade, moves away. I have to watch out. The green bishop can always come here with the protection of that pawn. Well, I can take with the knight, so I'm fine. Otherwise, my queen would be in trouble. Okay, and here I made a mistake. I wanted to attack the knight and bring my queen on a field where I come back on a good field. Possibly later threaten a check there. But I didn't see that I check yellow. And now yellow's knight cannot take a rook, but has to wait. Okay, my queen gets attacked. Yellow defends his king. And the rook protects itself and threatens to attack the knight, but the knight again has a check there. Okay. I'm making a slow move. I'm not sure whether I could have done something there to use the check that yellow may give. Well, I had to move my queen, so possibly no real good move. Could have possibly moved over there and attacked that pawn. Yeah, okay. Knight protects pawn again. Okay, now he's playing a check. So he's sacrificing his knight instead of giving a check on green, but now giving a check on blue. Okay. Green takes. Maybe not the best idea of yellow. I'm not sure. What can I do? Of course, I could take here, but then the queen is threatened, and if then, for example, green would play here, I would lose one of my queens. Or if green would give a check, I would lose the queen. So I cannot take. So I decided to move here. Well, I'm also threatened there, but at least we're kind of possibly close to a mating scenario here. Also, I'm threatening that green pawn here. But still, it's kind of dangerous move when the king moves out here and green would attack me. I would lose my queen still. Haven't really thought this through. Luckily, blue moves the rook. He was threatened, of course, that if he moves the king forward, that I could take the rook in the next move. If green does not support. Okay, so he rather moved the rook. Oh, I haven't seen that. Green was also attacking that rook down here. And so green shouldn't have taken that rook. Mistake by green. And smart move by yellow. I'm impressed. Okay. Haven't seen that one. Okay. So this now looks very good for red and yellow. Green does not protect his hanging pawn. Just goes for promotion. I just take it. Okay, and blue goes for promotion, and possibly both promote and will not stop each other. Okay. Not so sure. Yellow's trying to protect his king, but he's kind of, for example, here would be a field where he could be mated. I could, of course, give a check there and take the rook, but I will not attack yellow now. But the move was definitely not the best move. Of course, he felt insecure. I would rather have played that pawn possibly here. Okay. Yellow queen under attack. Oh, again. No mating scenario. I was thinking if yellow took and I went there and checked, it would be mate, but the knight could take. Okay, I take another pawn and threaten to take that knight. So all went super well so far. But of course, blue is now pushing. Okay, green comes back, yellow comes back to attack blue. Green moves away. Unfortunately, I cannot play my queen here to stop that. I can play the queen there or there to stop blue from promotion. Okay, I go over there and also attack the knight and the pawn. Looks all good. Okay, he goes back. I can now take that pawn. But of course, I will not let blue promote. Yellow is pushing. Green is moving back. I'm attacking now that pawn, possibly also the knight behind that one. Also, I open up a diagonal for my queen. I was always afraid about this bishop's move here, and now I had to stay with my knight there to protect that. Now the knight is free to come out and possibly do something about the promotion activities. Okay. He promotes anyway in an unprotected spot, putting his life on the support of green. Let's see what green does. Okay, yellow just makes a move. And green does support blue. Okay. I just move aside, try to stop at least green from promotion if I can. Oh, and I made a big mistake here. Should have possibly taken the blue queen or moved my queen, but just hang my queen there was a big mistake. So far, we were like on a winning streak here, yellow and red. And since yellow already is down in material, I was pretty sure I could win this game. But now I made a big mistake. I should have, I don't know, just taken that pawn and left the promotion happening. It's not, well, could have played that knight and protected my queen. He would possibly have traded anyway. But there would have been much better moves than this one. Okay, so lost my queen. Yellow is pushing. And green is pushing. So in a very important phase of the game, I'm making a bad mistake. And yellow is kind of dreaming there and not being active enough with his queen. Okay. I move back. I cannot stop. Well, I could still have. Well, now I was afraid to lose my bishop also. Okay, yeah, the bishop move was totally false. Otherwise, I could have now played that knight to stop here. But now my bishop was hanging. Okay. And blue moves away and lets green promote. Well, he could still take it. Let's see. Yellow pushes, but it's not likely that he will come to the end there. Still, this pawn is stopping it. Green is taking a queen. Blue could take it. But he's most likely not doing it. Oh yeah, and I was seeing it. I was seeing that blue has a mate here. Like I said earlier. And can I stop it in this situation? Not really. I could sack a bishop, win a pawn, but wouldn't change much. I wouldn't even win it. Green could take it. Could sack a queen. No chance. So the only thing I came up with was, okay, I can move that pawn. I could have even made a double step here and would be sure blue wouldn't en passant me. And if he did, it would still be a stable position here. Okay, but lost my opposite player. So in this situation, I was thinking, well, I have 21 points. I will definitely not be forced. I'm still material leader and still have the best king position on the board. So I still have chances to win. But of course, if blue and green continue the teaming, then it's hard for me to win this game. So my hope was, of course, that blue and green are not teaming for long. But the first move of green shows big aggression towards my position. There's a check possible. I just make another pawn move to block that position here, and to have a safe place for my queen, my king. And here blue is giving a big sign. He's again putting his queen on the whim of green. So green could now just take that queen and would definitely be in good position to at least play for second, but it would be hard for him to win against me, possibly. So therefore, green is not taking that queen, and now I'm under big threat here. This is a check. Well, if blue would take first and then green would check here, this would be horrible for me. So I protect that. It's not even enough protection. Still, blue could check. Green could check. The king cannot take. So I would have to take the knight. Well, no, I could not take the knight. I cannot take the knight. I have to move the king. So let's play this. Blue checks. Green checks. I have to move the king. Well, what is blue doing here? Well, he's checking from here. Isn't that mate? Well, I can take it. No, that is not mate. Okay. So it's not that easy. If he took from here and he took from there, that's mate. So green could have won a mate here. And both are equally strong, kind of. So would have been a good play from both of them, I believe. But this is not what happened. So I protected and blue did not take. But green did take. I hadn't seen that this pawn was hanging. My rook is protected, my knight is protected, my bishop is protected, so we are kind of safe here still. But still there's the same possibility for blue to take the knight. I move away with my king to get out of that checking situation. And blue is bringing in more threats now, also threatening to take here. Threatening that queen, but not very likely. Queen moves away anyway. Now threatens more checks from here. And for example, if blue would protect, green could checkmate me. I move away with my queen, but hadn't seen that, and did not see that my queen is under attack here with the knight. So not a good move. What could have I done better here? All kinds of threats going on for me. Maybe in this situation, this move would have been best, I believe. Anyway, so I moved the queen, blue attacked me, and green comes in, but this time without check. So I can just move back, but I'm possibly losing my rook. Okay, threatening to take my bishop possibly. And here comes another check from green. I can move away. Blue's still playing it slow. I can even take that knight. It's 2 times attacked. So what is green doing? Okay, green is making a move, attacking that pawn. So maybe at this moment green is deciding to switch teams. So I take the chance, take that knight. Blue even sacks his queen. He didn't sack it before when it would have been made to me. He sacks it now where I can just take it possibly. Okay, but green decides not to take the blue pawn, but threatening to take here. So still there are mating options. I of course take that queen, but it's protected by green. Green takes, and now I'm threatened to be mated by green alone. Okay, protect my pawn. Blue attacks with his pawns. Blue has not much left. And here's another check of green, and threatening to take my rook. I have to move. Blue is now threatening to take the green bishop, possibly. Oh, yeah, he's taking my queen and not the rook. Okay. I take back. Blue is not taking, of course. So where are we now? Now green is the material leader. And in terms of points, blue is away, but not far away. And I'm still on second place with points. So if for some reason green decides not to mate me fast, I still have a chance here. Oh, but I did not protect that rook. Okay, I can attack the queen, but now this rook again is hanging, of course, this pawn. But now blue decides to step in. Okay, so blue thinks that I'm nearly dead, so now he can again try to somehow play together with me against green. But it's nearly too late. Okay, I protect pawn, only that pawn is hanging now. But most importantly, I protect the rook. And now blue is going to queen. Green is double checking. I move away. I'm planning now to possibly go over here. Kind of the safest point here. Blue has to move his king. Now green attacks blue. Okay, I move my king. Blue protects his pawn. Double attack on that pawn. I move my king. Okay. Oh yeah, blue had to move because of the attack from the queen. And now there's a check on blue. I just move my king. I don't want to take that pawn. Pawn is protection in the moment. But I cannot really do something with my items in the moment. Again, check on blue. So now green is in the situation where he could possibly mate us both. Okay, attacks the pawn from behind and has possibilities to more checks on blue. I switch my pawn, my rook from one pawn to the other. Another check. Try to move my own pawn. Oh, and there's the mate. Okay, haven't seen that. So now blue is kind of out of reach for me point-wise in the moment. Green as well. Green can claim the win. If green claims the win, I will be second. So most likely that will happen soon. But green checks me. I win some more points, but I cannot win enough points to be second alone. Okay, have a very safe place for my pawns and bishop. Try to move on with my king and other pawn, win more points there, but still below blue. Of course, I will not really be able to bring that pawn to promotion. Okay, he attacks me. He could even claim win, but he doesn't. So I just hope for a stalemate or a late claim of win or whatever green may decide to do. Okay. Okay, I run away, still hoping for a stalemate. And then finally, before mating, green claimed win. Okay, could have done it earlier. So people in the chat were saying, worrying about it. But anyway, so I got second. There had been a good chance for yellow and me to take first and second place. But in the middle game, we lost it. And I'm very proud about the opening and the beginning of the game. We did very well there. In the end, I'm lucky with a second place and very close to 2,200 points. So let's see what the next games will bring. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.